Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy, and this report is going to be about Monday Night Raw. 2 matches, superstars, and 1 dark match. There hasn't been a report of the actual main event dark match that was advertised at the arena, being John Cena getting a title shot against Alberto Del Rio. No results on that, like I said. But first, WWE news. WWE is touting Tuesday's SmackDown taping as a Super Show event, meaning that wrestlers from both brands will appear in Houston. They also advertising the following matches: Alberto Del Rio versus John Cena for the WWE Championship, Mark Henry versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship. So they're both getting rematches, and a 41-man Battle Royal, the most in WWE history again. The Battle Royal is listed as Raw versus SmackDown, and once again carries the billing of the biggest in WWE history. It remains to be seen how many of these matches will actually air on TV. .NET reader Tom M. attended the WWE Vengeance pay-per-view on Sunday and sent the following notes regarding his experience. Lots of spots in the crowd, open and upper levels behind the camera were sectioned off. After about 30 minutes of Ric Flair woos, the announcers came out and introduced the dark match. Nobody cared about Wade Barrett and Daniel Bryan, who got a decent pop. Pretty much the same what we've seen from them over the last few weeks. Bryan can get a crowd pumped, so it begs the question, when are they going to start building him again? The show started and Vicky Guerrero came out. The place went nuts and you couldn't hear her. Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne came out to a good pop and put on a great match. All the chants for this match and the next were anti-Vicky. Most people were expecting a squash from Zack Ryder and pretty much upset when he didn't win. That tells me the audience actually cared about the story being told here. Special applause to Dolph Ziggler for his performance. I know people keep comparing him to HBK, but watching the guy perform and sell is why the comparison is made. I was actually hoping he'd drop the belt and fight with Swagger Vicky and pull a face turn. From the report, Sheamus and Christian put on the same match that they've seen over and over and over. Big pop for Sheamus and a decent pop for Christian with some obvious hype and boos. And the fan that reported this went to the restroom and got some nachos and a CM Punk shirt. During the Divas match, mission accomplished in record time. It caught the last half of the match and almost wish I didn't miss any of it. Beth had piped in boos too. Miz and Truth got some good heat. Only beat by Vicky so far. Punk and Triple H had a huge pops. Match was pretty, but the crowd ate it up. Spent the whole time watching Punk goof around in the corner. Everybody was expecting Kevin Nash. Didn't help when the security made an odd wall of security near the end. Plus the guy towers over everybody, so we knew what was going to happen before Triple H even tossed Truth through the barricade. And if you didn't know, this was so some of the results that a fan posted on one of the dirt sheets that he was live at the event. Any comments about Randy Orton easily got the biggest pop. The match was so-so. The whole time they were hoping Cody Rhodes would hurt his knee, so we start wearing knee pads. Big Show and Mark Henry had a decent big man match, and a near falls had the crowd eating out of their hands. The breaking ring was obvious because before the match, the stairs were moved from one side to the other. Then about a minute before, they were moved away from the ring post that broke. Regardless, it looked really cool, and it's nice to say he was at the match where Show broke the ring. but not the one where Brock Lesnar and show broke when they broke it that time. John Cena and Alberto Del Rio had a great match, with Del Rio getting some of the booze piped in as well. Because if you was watching the pay-per-view, the crowd was actually silent. So they had to play some staged applauses. Cena, however, got a huge ovation from all the females and children. Interaction with Rodriguez was all great stuff, and Del Rio being tossed out of the ring into the barricade just looked mean. I say that because normally the crowd cheers when heels take a big bump, like the announce table attitude adjustment. However, being tossed to the ring, you just heard a big ooh. It's also worth noting that the drunk guy near the fan spent the whole time screaming at a group of kids about how terrible Cena is. It was funny at first, but got old, and so some adults stepped in, and security took the guy away for cursing at the kids. Got no problem with the kids believing wrestling isn't scripted, but I don't run around Walmart in December telling kids Santa isn't real. This guy was a sick individual. Biggest spots: Randy Orton, CM Punk, and Triple H, and John Cena. With the kids and females, most heat was Vicky Guerrero, long shot. John Cena, adult males. Okay. Tonight's advertised dark match was Alberto Del Rio versus John Cena in a cage for the title. No results on that. SmackDown talent advertised on the WWE website for tonight's Raw was as follows: Randy Orton, Mark Henry, Big Show, Cody Rhodes, Christian, Sheamus, Daniel Bryan, and Bo Sin Cara characters. Well, Mark Henry didn't wrestle because they're sporting the injuries from the ring breaking from last night's Vengeance pay-per-view. Former WWE star Bad News Brown, aka Alec Coe, would have celebrated his 68th birthday on Saturday. He was born October 22nd, 1943. He died March 6, 2007, following a heart attack. Don and Ron Harris, aka Jacob and Eli Blue, also known as the Bruise Brothers, they both turned 50 on Sunday. They were born October 23rd, 1961. John Nord, aka Nord the Barbarian and the Berserker, is 52. He was born October 18th, 1959. He retired from pro wrestling years ago, and at last check, he was working at his family's auto dealership in Minnesota. .NET reader Roger sent the following results as a recent charity show that was held in East Norriton, Pennsylvania. Carlito won his match and did the signature apple spit. Doink the Clown beat Ed House. Blue Meanie won a match. Nigeria Nightmares beat Jason Gotti and a partner. King Kalua beat a local wrestler. The Patriot and Big Slam Vader defeated a team that was billed as being from Baghdad. The show benefited breast cancer research. There were roughly 100 fans in attendance based on Roger's estimate. Also, another former wrestler, Dan Spivey, aka also known as Waylon Mercy, turned 59 last week. He was born October 14th, 1952. He was the original tag partner of Scott Hall back in the mid-80s when the two were breaking into the business in Florida. The Undertaker and Michelle McCool were spotted this afternoon by fans situated in the parking lot at the Frank Irwin Center in Austin, Texas, prior to Raw taping at the site of Raw entering the venue. The married couple reside in Austin. It is also where they tied the knot in June 2010. King Kong Bundy appears as Otto Belmar in the independent film Fight the Panda Syndicate. The WrestleMania headliner has previous acting experience, having appeared on Married with Children in the 1988 comedy film Moving. WWE Hall of Famers Roddy Piper and Cowboy Bob Orton have been announced for the K&S WrestleFest, which takes place Saturday, December 3rd at the Ramada, Philadelphia Airport, 76 Industrial Highway, Lexington, Pennsylvania. The actual Piper's Pit set is being bought to the event for photo ops with the legendary wrestler. WWE officials have been discussing a feud between Booker T and Intercontinental Champion Cody Rhodes. Look for this to start tomorrow night's taping, setting up the promotion that Booker T is doing with a DVD set coming up. Latest word is that there are plans in place for an angle between the two that leads that Booker's return match. That angle between Booker and Cody may kick off at tomorrow night's SmackDown. Tapings, that is. Part of the reason, like I said, the feud is to promote an upcoming King of the Ring DVD set, which Booker is hosting. And the dark match prior to tonight's Raw Super Show in Austin, Texas, saw Sin Cara defeat Michael McGillicuddy, unknown whether it's the blue one or the black one. Well, even though the black one has lost his mask. Okay, Tag Team Champions Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne versus Primo Colon and JTT are advertised for Superstars. The Bella Twins versus Eve Torres and Kelly Kelly was also taped before Raw on Superstars. Okay, I finally got the results in. Prior to Raw tonight, the following matches were taped. And Air Boom defeated JTT and Primo. Primo's brother recently had a tryout. It's Tito Colon. He was a tag team partner of Primo over the weekend. And Air Boom defeated JTT and Air Boom defeated JTT and Primo in the match on tonight's taping for Superstars. Kelly Kelly and Eve defeated the Bella Twins. What you've all been waiting for now is the Raw Super Show opens up with the usual introduction video. And we got 26 minutes of Triple H talking about last night's pay-per-view. Live from the Frank Irwin Center in Austin, Texas, as the pyro goes off, Michael Cole welcomes us to Raw. He's joined by Jared the King Lawler on commentary. They discuss last night's Avengers pay-per-view. And then they show pictures of the collapsed ring in the Last Man Standing match. They show the footage of Kevin Nash powerbombing Triple H. Then they go to the ring, and out comes Triple H to a big pop. The crowd chants Triple H's name. He says it's a tough business. He was talking early that you can either make friends or make money. He says he always lived by that, but considers himself lucky because he's had money and success, but his share of friends. Triple H name drops a few of his friends: Shawn Michaels, Shawn Waltman, Kevin Nash. He says somewhere along the line things changed, and he thought he still had friends, but when he got in a position of power, like the COO, realized some of those friends were just there for a reason. Triple H throws up the click sign, and the crowd pops. He talked about how Nash attacking him at Vengeance, and the crowd boos. He says he isn't worried about the physical well-being because this might sound corny, he says, but Kevin Nash broke his heart. Now he wants to take it out on Nash. Triple H says he knows Nash is here tonight and calls him out. Triple H wants to kick his butt. The crowd chants for Triple H again, and he waits for Nash. Calls him out. Out comes John Laurinaitis instead to heat from the crowd. Laurinaitis heard a rumor that Nash was in town, but he also heard a rumor that Nash was at home. Triple H tells him to shut up. Laurinaitis tries to keep talking, but Triple H tells him to stop. Triple H tells him not to step through the ropes because he's not in the mood. It's not going to end well for Laurinaitis, he says. Laurinaitis keeps trying to talk, but Triple H cuts him off. Triple H says he is the COO, and Laurinaitis still reports to him. Triple H says Laurinaitis will be the guy tonight who scours the building to find Kevin Nash, then brings him to the ring. Triple H doesn't care what Laurinaitis has to do. Bring Nash here and offers him a contract. One he can't refuse. If he doesn't, Triple H is going to go wherever he has to and find Nash. Triple H says he will go to jail and embarrass the company if he has to. Triple H then tells Laurinaitis again to do what he has to bring Nash in. Triple H drops the mic and walked off. Laurinaitis tries to plead with him. Triple H turns around on the stage to have words with Laurinaitis. Well, Nash runs out, hits him in the back with a sledgehammer. Laurinaitis runs up the ramp and tells Nash to get out of here because he's not supposed to be here. Security came out, but Nash pushes some of them off. Laurinaitis is pissed as he checks on Triple H. He ain't showing much emotion there. Officials check on Triple H and help him to the back as the crowd pops. Cameras catch Nash walking through the backstage and staring down some of the WWE talents. We're going to replay what just happened and came back to Triple H trying to walk on his own. Backstage, he takes a few steps and falls like a drunk man. They call for paramedics as they go to cut the commercial. Back from the break, and the announcers play the seriousness of the attack on Triple H as we get more replays. We go to backstage and Triple H is being loaded into an ambulance. Nash appears with a sledgehammer and forces the EMTs to put him down. Well, as he's on the stretcher and the gurney, the top of the gurney, when they drop him, hits the ambulance's bumper, and Triple H falls right off as the back of the gurney hits the ground because it collapsed. Okay. I lost my spot. Okay. Okay, Nash stands up the stretcher and, with Triple H attached to it because he's buckled in. He leans him up against the wall. Security comes over and tries to get Nash to back off, but he decks Triple H in the face with a sledgehammer. If you notice that he had the sledgehammer and the wooden part right here, so it wasn't even an actual hit. Wham. The camera angle didn't even show him hitting him. Well, Triple H is laid out on a stretcher. They go to load him back in the ambulance and they cut the commercial again. Back from the break, and we see an ambulance rushing away to the hospital. So in that 3-minute commercial, it took him 3 minutes to get into the front of the car and leave. Well, he was supposedly in the back of it, and we get more replays of Nash attacking Triple H tonight. Randy Orton and Sheamus tag match versus Christian and Cody Rhodes. At 8:26, finally get the first match going on. Out comes Randy Orton to a big pop. Out next comes his partner Sheamus. And they didn't call him just Sheamus tonight. They called him the Big White Sheamus. Christian is out next, followed by his partner, WWE Intercontinental Champion Cody Rhodes. Christian starts things off with Orton. They go to lock up, but Christian strikes first and takes it to the corner. Orton fires back with a clothesline and a big backdrop. Orton does his usual stomps and locks eyes with Cody. Orton tags in Sheamus. Sheamus comes over to the top rope with a shoulder for a 2. Sheamus presses Christian high, but he slides out, and Christian slaps Sheamus and tags in Cody. Cody runs in and gets backdropped. Sheamus traps Cody in the ropes and now wells away with forearm shots to the chest. Sheamus with a big clothesline and a 2 count as Cody goes to the floor. Christian leaps off the apron with a shoulder. Cody meets Sheamus coming back in the ring and takes control. 2 count for Cody. Cody with a headlock now as we take another commercial break. Back from the break, and Sheamus and Cody are in control of Sheamus. Christian goes for the kill switch, but it's countered and Christian goes down. Sheamus tags in Orton. Orton clotheslines Christian twice and a power slams him. Orton with a big neck breaker and a 2. They go at it on the apron and Orton hits the second rope, draping DDT. Orton goes for the RKO on Cody, who attacks him from behind. Orton fights him off and Christian comes over and they take Orton out. Cody comes in and stomps away on Orton. 2 count for Cody. Cody drops a knee on Orton. They trade shots and Cody drop kicks Orton. Christian is tagged back in and they double team Orton. Christian ends up coming off the top rope, but Orton drop kicks him in the midair. Sheamus comes in and unloads on Cody with clotheslines and a scoop slam. Sheamus with a clothesline in the corner and a knee to the face. Sheamus with an Irish curse backbreaker and a 2 count. Sheamus goes for the Celtic cross, but Christian distracts him. They go back and forth. Cody hits a beautiful disaster kick on Sheamus. Cody distracts the referee while Christian spears Sheamus. 2 count. Orton comes in and takes Christian out with RKO. Cody takes Orton out of the ring. Cody goes for the beautiful disaster on Sheamus, but Sheamus barely connects with a brogue kick. Well, this brogue kick wasn't fully a brogue kick. It was more like a knee to the nuts. Because when Cody was coming off, he was jumping up. Sheamus got his leg up mighty late and caught him with a knee in the nuts. Sheamus hits the Celtic cross for the pin and the win. We get stills of what happened from last man standing match for the WWE title. John Laurinaitis is in his office on the phone. David Otunga is sitting there. Stephanie McMahon is on the other end, and it sounds like she's blaming Laurinaitis for what happened to Triple H. Well, obviously, I would too. Well, they hung up. John Cena interrupts Otunga, and it sounds like and Laurinaitis, Cena tells Otunga to hit the bricks and wants words with Laurinaitis right now. Cena tells Laurinaitis to follow Zack Ryder on Twitter at Zack Ryder. Well, that's incorrect. Take two weeks off and quit. Then give him a match tonight. Cena wants The Miz and R-Truth. Doesn't matter how he wants them, he just wants them. What? What do you want to do with them? Dance? So you can't see me twice? Okay, okay. It's Cena and a partner picked by John Laurinaitis versus The Miz and R-Truth. Back to commercial they go. Santino Marella versus Dolph Ziggler was up next. Not much of a match. Again, the interference from Zack Ryder distraction. Not Zack Ryder, but his tag team partner, Jack Swagger, I should say. Well, they advertised the Santino versus Dolph. Then it went commercials. Santino is in the ring already waiting. Out next comes the United States Champion Dolph Ziggler with Vicky and Jack Swagger. Bell rings and Santino does the usual comedy kick attempts. More comedy for Santino and a hip toss. Dolph gets mad, but Santino chases him back with a Cobra. Dolph decks Santino and starts stomping away. Ziggler connects with a drop kick and shows off as the crowd boos. Santino ducks a clothesline and hits a hip toss, followed by a headbutt to the chest. Santino calls for the Cobra, but Swagger gets on the apron, distracting Santino as he turns around to a zigzag from Ziggler for the win. After the match, Swagger then entered the ring and they beat up Santino some more. Swagger put the ankle lock on him many times. Well, Mason Ryan runs out as Ziggler runs up the rampway. Ryan clotheslines Swagger and hits him with a big boot. Vicky leaves with her team as Ryan helps Santino up as they go to replays. Bella Twins are shown backstage talking when Zack Ryder walks up, filming his show. So he's excited because Laurinaitis chose him to be Cena's tag team partner tonight. Up next is Alberto Del Rio's victory speech after retaining the WWE title at Vengeance. Back to commercial. Back from the break, and Ricardo Rodriguez introduces the WWE champion. But first, the ring announcer introduces Ricardo Rodriguez, who introduces Alberto Del Rio, who comes to the ring. Del Rio talks about defeating John Cena at Vengeance and how he left him on the floor lying like a dying dog. Del Rio says he proved once again he is a better man. Del Rio then says he's done with Cena. He had a chance and he lost. Del Rio says he is moving on to other challenges or challengers, but nobody is better than him in WWE. So get used to seeing him as champion. Well, CM Punk's music hit, and out he comes to a big pop. The crowd chants for Punk as he walks down the ramp. Punk says he's beat Del Rio multiple times if he hasn't remembered that. last time being 4 weeks ago on Raw. Punk reminds Del Rio that he never received his one-on-one title shot after Del Rio cashed in on him from the Money in the Bank from last year. But Punk lost his match last night, and he's a loser according to Del Rio. And he doesn't want to defend his title against losers. Losers don't deserve title shots, Del Rio says, and he tells Punk to come see him when he can do things right. When he gets a victory, Del Rio calls Punk a loser again and says he's at the back of the line. The crowd chants for Punk again. Punk says maybe he doesn't deserve it. Maybe he's at the back of the line. Maybe he's a loser. Maybe if Del Rio isn't willing to give him a title shot, we will just have to put him to sleep anyways. Laurinaitis comes walking out now and says he's fed up with everything. Laurinaitis says this isn't going to happen on his watch. Laurinaitis says they both make good points, and he wants to give the WWE Universe what they want. Laurinaitis proposes Punk vs. Del Rio for the WWE title at Survivor Series. Punk asks what the catch is. Laurinaitis says Punk needs to tell him he respects Laurinaitis in front of everyone. Punk says, what is he, Aretha Franklin? Punk says Laurinaitis clearly doesn't respect him and says respect is earned, not given. Punk talks about how Raw isn't any better with Laurinaitis in charge. Laurinaitis tells him to swallow his pride and say it. Punk sucks it up, mocks Laurinaitis' voice, and then says he respects him. Funk man. Laurinaitis gives Punk one more chance to do it right. The crowd chants for Punk as he thinks about it. Punk says he respects Laurinaitis. He respects how he comes out every week with a deer in the headlights look. Punk goes on ripping Laurinaitis for his past. Punk says never in this business has anyone with so little done so much. He respects that. Laurinaitis says that's not good enough, and Punk's not suitable for a WWE title shot. Laurinaitis is going to take another week to think about it. Punk then tells him to think about this and attacks Del Rio. Punk beats Del Rio down and goes for the GTS, but Ricardo makes the save. Del Rio flees the ring and leaves Ricardo. Punk hits the GTS on Ricardo since Punk tackled him and picked him back up for to go to sleep. And then Del Rio runs his mouth from a ramp, and Laurinaitis looks on. Punk poses on the ropes and has words with Del Rio. And then they show Vignette advertising still to come tonight. John Cena and Zack Ryder versus Miz and R-Truth. Then they go back to commercial. Next up was Natalya versus Alicia Fox. What a surprise. Back from the break, and Natalya is making her way to the ring with the WWE Divas Champion, Beth Phoenix. Beth joins Cole and Lawler on commentary. Out next comes her opponent, Alicia Fox. Bell rings and they go at it. Natalya takes Alicia's knee out and slams her face into the mat. Natalya continues to attack and clotheslines Alicia. Natalya drops a submission on Alicia's leg. Alicia tries to fight out of it, but Natalya keeps her down. Alicia finally makes a comeback and rolls Natalya up for the win. Didn't have much offense, just looks like a schoolgirl roll-up. So there's your surprise. After the match, we see Eve Torres and Kelly watching in the back, watching the monitors, or monitor, flat screen TV on the wall. Natalya and Beth attack Alicia, but she escapes the ring and heads up the ramp, and as they go to commercial. Next up, John Morrison versus Wade Barrett. Back from the break, and out comes Joe Mo. Out next comes his opponent, Wade Barrett, from SmackDown. The bell rings and they lock up. Barrett shoves Morrison back, but he comes back with a forearm. They go back and forth, trading kicks and punches. Morrison drop kicks Barrett. Morrison runs the ropes, but Barrett slides out to the floor. Morrison dives to the ropes to take Barrett out. They tangle up on the floor, and Barrett back kicks Morrison. Barrett tosses Morrison into the fan barrier as we go to commercial. Back from the break, and in the ring again, and Barrett has control of the match in the ring. Barrett levels Morrison with a big boot for a 2 count. Barrett chokes Morrison on the ropes as the referee counts. Barrett with knees to the head now. Barrett charges and hits another big boot, this time knocking Morrison out of the ring. Barrett then brings it back in the ring for a 2. Barrett puts a knee in Morrison's back. Morrison fights out, but Barrett whips in the corner. Morrison comes out with an elbow to the face and a clothesline. Morrison with a few kicks and a kick to the face. Morrison then with a charging knee to the jaw for a 2. Morrison ducks the clothesline and rolls Barrett up for a close 2. Morrison charges, but Barrett catches him in a big side slam for a 2. Barrett goes for wasteland, but Morrison counters with a single leg sweep, a side leg sweep. Morrison goes for Sergeant Payne, but lands on his feet. As Barrett moves, they fight in the corner and then go to the ropes. Morrison springboards, but lands on Barrett's shoulders for a botched wasteland. Barrett picks up Morrison and nails wasteland for the win. So again, like I said, he botched that finish. Because when he had him up for the wasteland, he was losing him as he's coming down. So Barrett was supposed to catch Morrison on his shoulders and hit the wasteland, but he lost him. But he still won the match. Cole and Lawler show us replays again of what happened between Kevin Nash and Triple H earlier in the night. Cole announces that Triple H has suffered a concussion and a possibly broken neck. They talk about how Cole has been tweeting JR all night. Cole says he's had enough and stands up on his chair. Cole tells the fans in the arena that Ross has been on Twitter and WWE website all night running his mouth. Cole says Ross must be drunk and says Ross sent out some photographs on Twitter by accident. And then they show photos on the big screen of JR's picture on some fat characters. One is dangling in front of him. The third is Ross in a Sooners cheerleading outfit. Cole says he has had enough of Ross and is ready to put an end to it all once and for all. Cole challenges JR to the Michael Cole challenge for next week's Raw in Atlanta, Georgia. If Ross wins the challenge, he can have his seat back on Raw because Cole will quit. Still to come, Cena and Ryder versus Miz and Truth. Back to commercial they go. Zack Ryder is backstage with Josh Matthews. Well, Ryder is excited about his first Raw main event and teaming with one of his broskies. Miz and R-Truth attack Ryder from behind and beat him down. Officials finally get them back off and tend to Ryder. And that match is up next. Ends up to be a handicap match. Miz and R-Truth versus John Cena and Zack Ryder. Well, like I said, ends up as a handicap match. We go to the ring. Out comes the Miz and R-Truth first. Miz tells them to cut the music. Talks about the Revolution. And what they have started, they mock Triple H and say he got what he deserved. Miz says, when they rise up, nobody will be safe from the truth. And their tag team name is Awesome Truth. And they said the writer just found out that. So did Triple H. He says Truth says that the party is just getting started. Miz says Cena can wear whatever catchphrases he wants, but he can't rise above them. That's the truth, and that's awesome. Crowd boos as we go to commercial again. Like I said, John Cena versus Miz and Truth. Handicap match. Back from the break, it's announced that John Laurinaitis has made it a handicap match. John Cena's music hits, and out he comes to the big pop. Miz starts things out for his team. Bell rings, and Cena beats Miz down and takes the fight to the corner. Cena with a fisherman suplex, but Miz tags in. Truth. Cena unloads on Truth. Also takes him down. Cena with an elbow drop. Truth tags in and Miz again, and the crowd boos. They turn the match around and continue the tags and double team on Cena. Cena suplexes Miz, but he tags in Truth. Miz hits a big running kick to the head and then clothesline in the corner. Miz goes to the top, comes down with a double axe handle. Miz chokes Cena in the corner, brings Truth back in. Truth lays out Cena, but he kicks out at 2. Cena tries to make another comeback, but they stop him. Cena comes back again and hits the 5-knuckle shuffle on Miz. Cena goes for attitude adjustment on Miz, but Truth makes a save, hitting Cena with a water bottle for the DQ. Classic water bottle. Okay, so John Cena won the match. After the match, Truth and Miz beat down Cena. Miz lays Cena out with a skull crusher finale, and then Truth hits his finisher. More like the knees to the face, back what do you call it, Jericho's move. Miz and Truth bring steel chairs in the ring, but Laurinaitis comes out with referees and tells them to stop. He's tired of being disrespected and not going to stand for it. Laurinaitis tells them that to get out of the ring as they argue. Laurinaitis tells the referees to walk them to the back. Laurinaitis tells them to stop just before they go through the curtain as they're on top of the ramp. And he says he has an idea for a match now. He's going to let Cena pick his own partner this time. It will be Cena and a partner of his choice versus Miz and R-Truth at Survivor Series. Well, if you didn't know, you better start calling somebody, because it's been all over the world, all over the internet and social networking. The return of The Rock is coming. So, this was it. This sets up your tag team. And he's asking The Rock to be his tag team partner for Survivor Series. And said, okay, back to the actual show. What's going on? Okay, Laurinaitis told them to get out of the ring, and they argued. Laurinaitis tells the referees to walk them to the back, tells them to stop. As the idea is going to let Cena pick his own partner, as the crowd's already chanting for The Rock. Cena says he's sick of the Miz and the Truth. Cena says he's not doing this out of friendship, but if he's going to defeat Miz and Truth, his partner is going to be someone who can bring it. The crowd starts clapping, Rocky, Rocky, Rocky. Cena sends the invite out and says he chooses The Rock as his partner. And that ends the show, but during that, it's like Cena took a few minutes before he even realized that Laurinaitis said, it's a partner of his choosing. He thought it was like going to be another screw job. Who's your partner going to be? You? Laurinaitis be his partner this time? He said he doesn't want to skateboard. He doesn't want to bring out a skateboard. He wants The Rock himself. Okay, I got a few pictures of a former WWE talent, which I will turn the computer around now. And he's got hair on his head. And that's his wife beside him. If you didn't know, you better call somebody. Alright, the next picture. That's another picture of him. He's actually smiling. Again with his wife. And the final picture of this certain wrestler. This is his family and, of course, his close personal friend, Edge. I got them earlier tonight from one of the dirt sheets. And that will end my video. Thanks for viewing. As soon as I get the TNA results for next week's show, it's supposedly advertised as tonight. And I believe I said it was last week. It's supposed to be Tuesday and Wednesday night. Well, dirt sheets may be wrong. wait and see. And I will still post tomorrow night as well. I mean Tuesday night.